about both these teams first before we get up into the boring game because I don't want to get to that
Uh,
one.
okay.
Let's start with the Buffalo Bills. Okay, you're Josh Allen. You might win MVP this year. You've been to the playoffs a few times. You go 0. You're now 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes. You can't beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It just has not happened. Will not happen. There was a lot of hype behind this team going into the playoffs. There was a lot of hype behind Josh Allen getting to this point, but unfortunately, they fall short. Now, we saw this happen to another team, except this team actually beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and that was the Cincinnati Bengals. Do
Yes.
you see them going into that same regression that we saw from Cincinnati over the past couple of years? Do we see that happen to Buffalo these next couple of seasons, you think?
I don't think so, and that's just because of the fact of they don't have a whole lot of talent around Josh Allen just yet. I think if they had constructed a roster with a couple of big name wide
Well, they
receivers,
had one. I mean,
well, I mean, they did, and they
yeah.
told his ass to go to the Houston Texans. So, I mean, Amari Cooper, they said, "Oh, we're not going to use him or whatnot." But I don't think I see a regression from this here. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of like, oh, this guy could be a solid player kind of thing.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like when you looked at the Bengals when they beat the Chiefs, it was Jamar Chase, it was Joe Burrow.
Yeah. T.
Those were
Higgins, Joe
rookies, right?
Mixon.
So we really didn't know what to expect from these
Yeah.
guys, and now we see that they can barely, win a game. They could throw for 900 yards and still lose by 3 touchdowns. The Cincinnati Bengals. So
Yeah.
with this team with the Buffalo Bills, you just see a little more of a well constructed or well organized team. And I think with them going to go get a big name wide receiver here to partner with Josh Allen, they become a little bit of a deadlier team. Dude, like I said, they beat themselves so bad in this game, it wasn't even funny. Like they had every opportunity to put an end to the Chiefs' nightmare, and now we get to live it for
Dude,
another 2 weeks.
I kind of disagree with that, man. I kind of think that, yeah, they had some opportunities schematic, meaning like maybe they could have ran more. Maybe they could have ran more with Josh Allen. Maybe they could have. But as far as the game, they did everything they possibly could have wanted to do to win this game. Like, we've watched multiple games where people have crapped their pants and lost the game, right? This was not one of them. The Bills played as hard as they could, and they made fourth down plays for touchdowns. They made huge plays. The two biggest plays of the game are from Hollins. They did everything you would think that they could do to get in this game. No team has scored more than 20 points against the Chiefs all season. They got 29 and they still lost.
They sure
I'm
did.
sorry, they're going into a regression. And the reason I say that is because no, I'm just saying just on premise here. All the teams that went up against the Patriots again and again and again trying to defeat the same team, they all get spat on and then they go back. They have to take a few steps back. And I think that's what you're going to see with the Bills because, like you said, B, the Bills' offense could use some fine tuning, could use some help.
I'm saying.
Here's the problem, though. There are other teams in the AFC that also have become competitive over the same amount of time. Now you have other teams that also can compete, and you can never be held at that high standard when you're not beating this team. You can't stay up here because you're not up here. You haven't beat them. You're still in the mix with everybody else. Let's not. We can't. There's no clear second place. That's not a real thing. There's a
Well, not
different.
right now. There isn't.
Well, I'm saying there's a different team challenging. Well, I take that back. There's the same group of teams challenging the Chiefs every year. It's the Ravens. It's the Bengals. It's the Bills. It's maybe we could throw
That's
the
it.
Broncos, the
Nope.
Chargers
I
if you
wouldn't
want
even.
to
I
do
wouldn't
that.
throw any of those other teams in there right
It's
now.
the
There's only.
same teams every time, and every time they come to the show, they get put down. And so that's why I'm saying there is definitely going to be a little bit of regression unless they do something to bolster their roster. I just see them coming out next season. They might have the same fire, but after losing to this same team four times in the playoffs, I don't know. I feel like that's all. Like as a Laker fan, that reminds me of the Lakers and the Nuggets. It's cute. It's cute to say, "Oh yeah, we beat them in the regular season once or twice." It's nice to say, "Oh yeah, guys, look, if we just play harder, if we just add one more player, if we the Lakers
No.
can't beat the Nuggets in the playoffs. It's not gonna happen." And I'm a Laker fan. Look at all Lakers crap behind me. It's not going to happen because we just don't match up with them well. We
Yeah.
don't. They're a better team than we are. But just bottom line, we don't match up with them well, and I think that's what you're seeing. And add to that, you know, I know people are going to hate on the Chiefs because they're becoming like the Patriots, so it's starting to get stale. But Patrick
But
Mahomes,
beat him. Someone beat him.
exactly. But Patrick Mahomes is still that dude, and you're not just gonna name somebody else that dude, and he can't beat him. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah.
You can't hoist people on pedestals when they haven't done anything yet. So that's the other thing. And I gotta say, Josh Allen, he again, I give him nothing but praise. He played a great game, except for like the first couple of drives. He was a little shaky. But after that, he got into a good flow. He made some great plays, but the Bills ain't beating the Chiefs. So I don't know. You gotta find a way to invigorate the roster. I don't think you roll the same team back out there again. You got to find somebody who's not a part of this and plug them in there to help give you a little bit of